Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today I'm going to demonstrate the knotted cable chain. I'm going to demonstrate it for left-handed people because we have very few resources available to us. So whether you're right or left-handed, I try to give a lot of tips, and I show this stitch done in a number of different threads. So regardless of whether you're left or right-handed, you may find it helpful to see how it looks and different ideas of how it can be used. I hope you'll join me. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, click on the bell for email notifications, leave me comments. I love hearing from you, as you know. And if you haven't done so already, I'd love for you to follow along with me on my blog where art and life meet. I blog Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm on Instagram at Ariane Zurcher. So grab something to stitch with, grab a needle and some thread, and let's start exploring. It's really a coral stitch with a chain stitch. I'm going to go along right next to, parallel to the one that I just started. I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a coral stitch first. So I'm just going to take a little stitch here. I'm going to wrap my thread around, anchor it with that thumb, and bring it forward like that. Now I'm going to go through with the back of my needle under this stitch right here. I'm going to slide my needle under it, pull it through, and now I'm going to go right down with my needle, and I'm going to come up just a little ways away, and that's my chain. I'm going to take a little horizontal stitch here. This is my coral part. Wrap the thread around, anchor with the right thumb, pulling it through. Taking my thread, the back of the needle, I'm going to scoop my needle right under there. This is Merlin coming to say hello. And now I'm going to go right down in here, and I'm going to come up for my chain. So it helps me to think of it as a coral stitch with a chain stitch. So there's my coral, wrapping it around, anchoring with my thumb, pulling through. Now if I take my needle, I go right into this stitch here, pull it through, and now I'm going to take the needle and go right under here to start my chain. So it's like a chain stitch that has a little coral knot in it. I think it's really pretty. Now I go across. I'm going to wrap that thread around, and there's my coral. Take my needle, scoop that thread right under that. It's like a cable chain stitch with a coral stitch inside where the cable would be. If that makes sense. Okay, there it is. Take my little stitch. This is the coral part. Wrap my thread around, anchor it with my thumb, pull it through. Take the back of my needle, go through that stitch, and here's my chain going up. Thread through, wrap that thread around, through the cable part, and make my chain. Right, I'm going to do the cable knotted chain right along here on my little leaf here. I'm doing it in a silken pearl. I've got that threaded on a 24 chenille. So I have my knot. That's my coral. I slide my needle through the back. I then start my chain right here, and I go up. Now I take my little stitch here. This is my coral part. Wrap the thread around, anchor it with my thumb, and pull up. I slide my needle through that, what would be the cable part of the chain. Take my needle down and bring this up. Take a little stitch, wrap my thread around, slide it under, and here's my little chain. Wrap my thread around, anchor with my thumb, I'm not going to do a knot there because, first of all, it's right next to the stem and it won't get seen in any way. It's the beginning and the end of the leaf. Okay, so let's try it with a different thread. I'm going to do the knotted cable chain stitch in the cotton ribbon floss. This is Rousseau. I'm using a number 18 chenille needle. I'm going to go ahead and do it along here for the stem. So I come up, and the first thing I'm going to do is make my little knot for my coral stitch. I'm then going to pull my needle through the bottom of that stitch, then come up below the knot, and I bring my needle up for my first chain. One of the things I really like about this ribbon floss is that you can really see different things that are going on within a stitch. Even though this is a fairly thick thread, I'm still keeping the chains pretty small. I'm going to go ahead and just end the thread right here. That is my knotted cable chain stitch. I'm going to use Oriental Linen, this one, and I'm going to go around the circle. And I'm going to use an 18 chenille needle. I'm going to come up right on the edge here of my piece. And I take my first little stitch as my coral stitch. That's how I think of it. It just helps me remember. I wrap my thread around the needle, anchor it with my thumb, hold that, and now I go, and it's tricky in this first stitch, I go right into there, slide my needle through, and this serves as the base of my chain. I'm now going to come up for my chain stitch. I'm going to take my little horizontal stitch for my coral knot, anchor that, hold it, and I'm going to come right through what would be a cable if I was doing a cable chain. Bring that around. There's the beginning of my chain. Bring that right up to the edge here. My little knot, wrap that around, bring the needle under that stitch, begin my next chain stitch. Around, pull it through, slide under, start my next chain. Pretty cool looking, isn't it? There it is for the leaf shape in the silken pearl. This is the Oriental Linen, and this is the number 5 weight eleganza in a straight line. I hope you found this interesting and made you think maybe how you might apply the knotted cable chain stitch to your work. Don't forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button and the bell that comes up to get email notifications. I love hearing from you. Leave me comments in the comment section, and don't forget to check out the description section where I'm going to leave a link to all the different threads and everything I use in this video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, here's to stitching together.